Okay, so we are finished setting up our environment and our drivers as well. Now let's go to our system and do some small setup, settings, subject and other things. So I'll go straight to my folder, open it, and within the folder you have the setup for each department or level. So let's open the DHS. So within the DHS you can see we have SBA DHS. So from this note, you realize that the first note is duplicate files. So please duplicate the provided files and place the copies in the designated directory. Rename the files, then you modify the classes. What this one means is the system has been built for all the academic year, that's term 1, term 2, term 3. But you have to duplicate this main setup for each class within the level. So as I have DHS here, what I have to do is, let me view it large. I'll just right click on this, copy, and within the same folder I will paste. Then I'll just rename this one as what? Basic 7. Sorry, Basic 7. Then let's paste again, Basic 8. Basic 9. Good. So what we have to do next is, when we open this one, we have to check that the class that has been selected here is Basic 7, Basic 8, Basic 9. That's all this note is trying to tell us. So you duplicate it, you rename, then when you open it, you modify the classes. So that's what this note was trying to tell us. So now that we have finished duplicating, renaming, and modifying, we have to modify it, yes. So let's open our system now. So we'll be working on Basic 7 for these tutorials. So let's open it and see. Okay. So before we can use this, I told you we have to enter our registration, that serial number, that the registration number. So because we have our registration number, we can enter it straight. But I've deployed this system in such a way that you can use it for 2 days. After using it for 2 days, and if you don't enter the serial number, you can no more access the system. But when you finish with all the things, a serial number will be given to you for the school. And with that serial number, it does not expire. The moment you enter, you can use it for the entire, it is unlimited. The serial number that you get will be unlimited, which means there will be no need for another subscription every year or anything. No, the system does not work like that. When you buy it, you bought it for one time. There's no need for any other subscription again. So I have my serial number here already. Let me copy that and paste it. It's not here. Go to logins. Okay. So let me register now. So within here you can see we have the customer ID and the serial number. So let me paste my serial number and my customer ID. Good. So I am set to go. Now let me close this, and go to OK. Okay. So our system has been activated for us. So we just have to wait as it loads, then you log in. Let's wait and log in. So from here we have to log in with the credentials. So within the login file, you get your credentials. So let me enter my username, then a password will be given to you as well. So after login, it will load. So let's wait for it to finish loading. Okay, so it's almost done with the loading. Good. So this is just a welcome message. Let's click on OK. Now our system has opened. So this is the dashboard for the system. Anytime we open it. So here we will be having the name of the school here. Then the school logo will be here. Then this is just the data. So after duplicating it, we just have to be changing the class. So we are now using basic 7. Basic 7. So I just select basic 7. Then the academic here. So we select the academic here. So let's say 2024-2025. The head teacher's number will be here. Then the class teacher, that's the facilitator's contact. Then our school logo, motto or the slogan will be here. Then these ones cannot be edited. So as we request for the system, we will program everything with the data. Actually, you fill a form, so through that form you get your information. So this is just a sidebar upon everything. So before we use the thing, we have to set up something like the grading system, the subjects. So let's look at something. So we have the term 1, term 2, term 3. From here, let's go to term 1. When you go to term 1, all the terms or the academic year, they have similar window like this. So subject tabs, we can see that there are no more subjects, but we can have a maximum of 15 subjects. There are no more subject tabs here because we have not registered any subjects yet. Now let's go back to our dashboard. And let's insert the school logo here. So we can just go to insert, yes. Then we select where our school logo is. So I'm using this as an example. Then our logo will be inserted here nicely. So that's how we can insert your school logo. That's the school crest at this place. We'll be working through these ones. So this is just the zoom button. This is the save button for saving your progress. Then this is just a refresh button. Sometimes when you work for a long time, you just have to refresh it. These ones were meant for inserting the school crest. Then you have the term 1, term 2, term 3. So clicking on it will take you to the term you're working on. Then the report card setup. So as you've entered your assessment and other things, when you click here, you can set up the date for vacation. So with the drop down here, then you select your date for vacation. Then the date for the reopening, you also select that. Then the number of days open, that means the number of days that for the academic day, the academic term. So let's say if 69, I'll just type my 69 days that the student was supposed to come to school. And date of vacation was, let's say, Friday, and we are going to open around, let's say, March, on the 3rd March. Then you save it. After saving it, to ask you which term do you want to save this report card setup. So let's save it to term 1, since we'll be working with term 1 very much. Good. So we set up our report, the academic analysis. With this button, we can use it to know the progress of the student for all the 3 terms for the entire academics. So we'll be looking at that one. Then photo ID. This button allows us to insert the pictures of the students to our report card. Then let's go to the about and look at some features of this system. So these are about window. So it's just a preamble of some of how this system was made and other things. So let's get the key features. So with the about system here, we have the key features here, and we have my QR code. So we can scan this one, then send me email straightforward for any maybe some features you want us to add, or you want to make inquiry or any other thing. My number too is also here that I can pick up and call. So there are more features. So let's look at some of them. So the first one comprehensive academic year support. So this system manages all the 3 terms, as I said, term 1, term 2, term 3 within this whole system. Then you can customize the school crest, that's the school logo that you change. Then data management, you can import and export assessment sheets for all the subjects, the one we call the continuous assessment. Then we can generate a PDF of our report card system. So there's an option which allows you to generate for one person, or generate for the entire class, or generate with the generation for the entire class. You can generate it 111 or generate all as one PDF for easy printing. Then we have an analysis tool in it, so we saw the academic, but for each term there's an analysis tab that you can also see the progress of the students in all the subjects. You can also customize our grading system, assessment type, and the name of the subject and everything. Then we have the appraiser sheet too, which has been integrated. That's the conduct, Remark, and class teachers Remark. With that one too, you can import it from the teachers and export it to them so that they will edit it. So using the system, it's not one person who's going to use it. We still export like an Excel sheet to the teachers, and they will work on it as the normal one. This time around, it will be done electronically, and you can enter the marks and everything on their phone. Then the photo ID, so you can also insert students' IDs, that's their photo ID on the report card. Then we have a broadsheet which contains all the student lists, their marks for all subjects, and their position attack, the one we normally post at the notice board or in the classroom. Then we have the parental engagement feature, which allows us to send summary of the students' report to each parent. So the parents in the house will receive a summary of their report. So before the student will come to the house, the parent even knows the position and the grade he or she had in the various subjects, and if it's third term, whether the child has been promoted or not. Then you can also add student bill. So this one, for let's say the private institutions, there is a bill sheet function or window where you can insert the student bill in it for the next academic year. So on the report card, you can choose to insert that. Then these are some notes references about it. So let's go back to our dashboard. So we went to the about, now the setting. So we have to go to our setting and add subjects in our system. So let's see how we are going to do that. Before we can go to our setting, we need a passcode. Then the default passcode is 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means it's not anyone who can set up anything for you. So in our setting window, we have this thing here, appraiser remark. The appraiser remark, we have a predefined one in the system, of which you can edit by simply clicking on it and typing in anything. So at the attitude column, we have this predefined one in the system. So when the teachers are doing the appraiser, they need not to enter anything. They will just look at the child, their performance, and they will just be selecting from the drop down. They will be selecting for a faster way of doing the appraiser for the students. And you can change it and type in anything that you want to, and this one will appear on the appraiser sheet for the teachers to select. So this is just a sample one. On the same window, we have the grading system. So you can customize your grading system here, which number or which score should give us this, and the remark. So for this tutorial, we'll be using 90 to 100 as what the grade 1. Now let's look at how we are going to do the score. So you can see you have 0, 35. You might think, is this how we set the grading system? So let's walk through that. Let's create a new file here. Good. In setting up the grading system, this is what it means here. It means 0 to 34 should give us grade 9. Then 35 to 39 should give us grade 8. Sorry. Then the remark 40 to 49 should be grade 7. So we can see that with this grading system, we will only enter the one at the left, that's the lowest one. When we are doing the grading system, please be careful with this one. So you only enter either 0, so the lower limit, not the upper limit here. You only enter the lower limit. The system will automatically detect that you are talking about 0 to this. So there will be no need for you to enter 0 to 34 as grade 9. You just enter only the lower limit, which is 0, 35, 40, and so on. Then you add your remark to it. So that's how we also set up with this one. Then at this we know this, so we are going to register our subjects. But before then, let's look at some other features here. So at this place we can modify our assessment, that's a continuous assessment. So we can change the name. We have test 1, group work, project work, test 2. You can change all this one based on the continuous assessment or how you do your assessment in your institution. So for test 1, you can enter the marks that you want for test 1, the marks for the group work, the marks for this one. So you can modify all these things very easily. Then after that, you come to the percentage wise. How many percentage are you taking from the CS? The CS means the class score. So all these things, how many percentage are you taking? So in here we are building our CA. Then for the exam score too, how many percent are we taking? So let's say if we are taking 40% from the exams, you see that there's some error message prompted, incorrect percentages. That means it must sum up to 100%. But here we have 40 and 50, which means the summation will be up to 90%. That's why this error is showing. So let's enter 60 here to correct that. Good. Now the error is gone. So it means we are using 40% of the class score and 60% of our exam score. Then from here you can see a pass mark. Your institution can set up a pass mark. This is what we are going to base on to do the analysis for each subject. So based on the pass mark you set here, and the system will base on that to do the analysis for you. So for this tutorial, let's select 49, meaning more than 49 is a pass mark. So those who had 50 and above, I consider them as a pass mark. So when after doing all these things, then you click on update to update all the changes that you have done here. Now that it is loading, so let's wait for it to accept, because for all the terms it is going to use this assessment that we've done here to do the calculation for us. Okay, now our calculations, let's see a calculation set successfully. So across the term, it is going to use this marks to do the calculation for us automatically. Now below it, we can see type of exam for exam broadsheet. We'll be having two broadsheets in the system, the main broadsheet and the exam broadsheet. The difference is with the main broadsheet, it is going to use the class score and exam score to do the merit of student for us. So on the report card, as it is, it's going to do that broadsheet. The broadsheet is just a summary of the student performance. So a student name, the mark that the student had in all the subjects, and its corresponding aggregate, then the position. So with the other sheet, which is the exam sheet, that one, it does not include the class score. It uses only the exam score to grade the student. And that's what some institutions normally use for midterm. You see, for the midterm, they don't normally include the exam class scores for the broadsheet. So when you get there too, you can do that. So here you can enter the heading for that broadsheet, either midterm exams or school mock analysis or super mock or anything. You can enter it here. So for this tutorial, we're using the midterm as a heading for that. On our right is the bills. So as we said, we can include bill, and we have bill sheets. It's just a bill sheet that you are going to enter the bills for it. So you can include the heading for the bills, whether are yes, utility, T-roll, classes fee, maybe school fees, next term feeding fee. When you type them here, then you just update. If you don't want this one, you can simply delete by pressing on the delete key on your keyboard. Then you also key in the stuff that you are going to use. At our right again, we have the head teacher's remark. So we have the class teacher's remark and the head teacher's remark. So these are also a preamble of the head teacher's remark. So these things will appear when the head teacher is going to do the remarks for the various students. You can also type in your own remark so that the head teacher can use based on your satisfaction. Then at our left move, that's the last thing there, you can see long name and short. These ones are meant for the subject. So after setting up the subject, the system will request you to type a short name for the subject. I know some preschool like nursery, kindergarten, and the others, sometimes their subject name is very long. So on a broadsheet, instead of using the long name, it will use the short name. So let's go back to the subject. So these are main focus here. We want to register a subject. So we just have to go to setup. So on the setup here, there are no subjects which has been loaded. I think I type in my subject here. Let me go to my file, subject and names. So I have these things typed here already. So let's register our subject based on subject that we're doing. So we just come to this window, you click here, then you type in a subject. I've already copied it, so English language. Then I'll just click on add. Yes. Then automatically I've registered English language. Let's add more subjects. So we can register as many as 15 subjects. That's the limit for the subjects. So you can register as many as 15 subjects for this system. And the system is totally offline. You don't need any internet connection before operating. The moment you purchase you have purchased it for the entire life. There is no need for subscription and any other thing. It is very user friendly for you to use. So you realize that as we were adding a subject, these things were also updating. So far we've added 10 subjects. 10 subjects. After we are done with the typing of our subjects, then we have to update the system so that the system will recognize the subject that we've entered. You can also choose to delete. So with the English language, we can see English language here. So let's try and delete it and see. The moment we click here, we can delete the subject. If you don't like, then you see that the subject is no more here. So let's try and add our subject again. English language. Let's add the English language. Good. So you can delete and add the subject that you want. But any changes that you do here, before you leave here, you have to update it for the system to recognize it. Now let's click on update to register our system so that the system will recognize that you made these changes. We'll wait for it to load. After loading, our system will recognize all these subjects and it will create the tab for us so that we can access the subject sheet. %86. Good. Now it has finished loading. So the moment it finished loading, you see that modify subject will come. So this is where the system is going to request you to enter the short name of the long subject name that you've entered. I've already done some, but let's see. So the moment we click here, all the subjects you have registered here will pop up. So English, then you type the short name for the English. Mathematics, I've done that. Science, I've done that. Social studies, career technology, creative arts, RME, English language, Ghana language, computing. So normally computing is shortcut ICT, or we can just call it the computing. Good. Now let's save. I think the next one, French. We have done French too. So after saving, we will just exit it. Then this information is telling you, please go to the left and verify the short names. So remember, we went to the left and we saw some short name. Now let's go there and see. Good. So our subject has been updated successfully. So for each subject here, this is the short name that we have set up. Anytime you modify it, it will request for the short name again. Now we are done with our system. We have set everything up. So what we have to do is to import the student names. Let's go back to the dashboard. Our subject has been registered. Our CA is there. Now let's go and check if our subject is there. So we are going to work in term 1. So term 1, we realize that now all the tabs for us to go to our subject is here. So when we take English language, remember we did the CA settings. So test 1, we give it 10 marks, group work 10 marks, and the rest. Then we said that 40% of the class score should be added to 60% of the exam score. So that's what exactly the system have done it based on what we did. So our next thing is for us to insert the student names, and that will be the next thing you're also going to look at it.